Okay, the last one is Santiago.
Buenas tardes de nuevo. So I'm gonna do something a little bit more informal, I guess. Closer, okay. Probably less pretentious than my last talk. For whoever didn't attend the talk I just gave, one of the parts I presented was a project in which I curated a lot of very interesting visualization projects done by other people or teams. And I attach a word to each of these projects. Actually, it was the other way around. I started with the words, and then I found the interesting projects. So maybe I'm going to use these 8 minutes or 9 minutes to actually show projects done by other people instead of mine. I already presented a lot of things I've done, so it's a good opportunity. Maybe I'm going to just introduce the mechanics of my website, because I track, I do statistics, I analyze how people behave in my website, and the way it was expected to work, I think only 5% of users discover, okay? It's okay, okay? I am used to this kind of situation that the complexity is not completely understood by user. It's totally normal. It's almost as if it were a sort of Easter egg, right? So the thing is that is the portfolio of my projects, or some of those projects are also done with by the Moebio team. And you have like 3 vectors, 3 dimensions, which is all the projects, or the most recent ones, or my favorites. And you can also choose or combine other dimensions here. Let's see. For instance, scientific projects or more experimental. I'm going to choose experiment. So now, oh, and the widget just disappeared. So, okay, let's use what we have here. In theory, you can move around the widget and navigate the 3-dimensional space. It's not working. Let's just go for one of the projects. It's not my computer, and it's very difficult to interact with. Okay, so I was looking for. Let me reload the page. Sorry for that. Okay, this is the one I wanted to present. So going back to the widget, now that it reappeared, you move around and you choose, you give different weights. Again, you give weight to different dimensions and you can navigate, but it's not working very well, so I'm going to jump directly to the project. Okay. So you might remember all the projects are being loaded. None of these are mine, it's just a curation. I asked multiple people around me what were the most important things in their lives or in the universe, okay? And they gave me a lot of responses. I created a list. Let's go back to the list very, very, very fast. It's words such as planets, or philosophy, or science, or war, or life, right? It's 34 words, all sorts of concepts. And then I started the process of gathering and finding projects that are related. And what I'm going to do now is show some of those, if they work. Maybe, this is a very old project, so maybe some of those won't actually work. I love this one. Let's see what happens. It's just a YouTube video. Do we have sound? No, I didn't ask for that.
If you have asked before.
It seems to not be working. Oof. So this is Debussy Clair de Lune. I won't sing it. So if you know the song, please play it in your heads. Okay? It's a beautiful visualization. In any case, the project is available on my website, so you can go there and go. Let's look at this one. This one is fantastic, especially because of the process. It's called locals and tourists. And it's just static results, okay? So the idea is that, that you have blue areas in San Francisco. In this case, there are other cities. And you have red areas also in San Francisco. And the reddish ones are for tourists. And the blue ones are for locals. Now, the thing is how Eric Fisher, which is the cartographer that built this project, managed to know which were the tourists and which were the locals using the pictures, because this is based on different pictures. So he is very clever, and in this project, he used his clever mind, and what he did was analyzing collection of pictures in Flickr. He isolated the ones that were took by people consistently in time, because Flickr also captures information metadata about the camera, for instance. So if the same camera was taking pictures of San Francisco for more than 1 month, his heuristic or his criteria classify this as a local. Whereas pictures taken by cameras that spend just a few days and maybe after that were taking photos in other places. Okay, maybe we can try the sound. Great. These were classified, obviously, as local, and then the pattern emerged. So I love this project not so much for the visualization, which is great by itself, but because of the data process, which was very, very, very clever and successful. This project, which is called Life Universe, you find it in my website. Whenever you visit a website, one of the proposed websites, here you have tourism. It was already visited. If you come back, you will see it marked as visited. So you can spend 1 week or a month navigating, so you will basically visit all the projects we have. Many of these projects are actually static. So humor, for instance. I'm going to choose some random links. So humor was one of the words. And it turns out there are a lot of things you can do that are basically humoristic based on data. So it's not that there is a joke about data. It's really real data, but the result is quite fun. Bottles of beer, this is based on Google results, right? So you search something, you make a search, and then you get the number of websites that were found by this search string, right? But then you can create an artificial axis on the search. So you will try to search 1 bottle of beer on the wall. Then you get the number. Then 2 bottles of beer on the wall, etc. And this it's a function. It produces a graph. And then it's interesting because all these spikes, all these numbers, probably are connected with have some cultural meaning, right? That I personally don't know. But then there are some that I think are very interesting, such as my IQ is. And then again, this guy here started with 80 and ended with 170. But then the actual average is over here. So someone is telling lies, right? Basically. The same with other searches. So you can explore also quite cultural and psychological aspects with data using Google. At the time, I remember the Google API was working fantastically, and that was one of the results. Now it's more difficult to do that kind of stuff. I did a similar project with the sentence, my husband is, and then the age, right? And then my wife is, and then the age. And combining these two, I got a scatter plot of different ages to see, and I matched that against real demographic data, and it worked very nice. It matched, basically. Okay, brain. This is a sort of different kind of visualization. So the visualization has multiple stories or multiple histories. And one of the deep histories of data visualization comes more from academia and science. And this is what is called also imagery. So for people in academia and science, and also maybe in some technical context, they understand visualization as being something more connected with this. This is a beautiful visualization in which you can actually select a point in a three-dimensional space, and you get the 3 brain scans, right? This might be magnetic resonance, I believe. So you have a way to explore. So it is a classical academic visualization, imagery, but then it has this widget to navigate throughout this person's brain. I found it fantastic. What else? Is there a word are you interested in? ¿Tiempo? ¿Tiempo para la última o no? Voy cortando. Okay, thank you very much. It was very fun. Bye.